Volume and capacity. So girls, last lesson we just looked at the volume of any prism, which was area of the uniform cross-section times the height, and volume of a cylinder. So we just looked at very basic sorts of questions. We still need to do some harder cylinder problems as well, and we need to look at something called capacity. Now, there's a difference between volume and capacity. Volume is the amount of space, so volume refers to the amount of space. So volume refers to the amount of space occupied or inside, occupied by an object. Its units of volume are, anyone give me an example? Give me an example. You did conversions yesterday. Yeah, meters cubed, centimeters cubed, millimeters cubed, etc. Okay, so volume refers to the amount of space occupied by an object or the amount of space inside the object. But capacity is different. Capacity is the amount of liquid that fits inside that space. Okay, now the units of capacity and your answer might be in mils, litres, kilolitres, etc. Okay, now conversions. So capacity, no, it's just mils, litres, kilolitres. So we know some conversions, for example, that 1 litre, is 1,000 mils. We know some of these conversions already. You've seen these. 1 kilolitre is 1,000 litres. Okay, so you've seen those conversions. That 1,000 mils is a litre, 1 kilolitre is 1,000 litres. However, there is another conversion where we convert from volume to capacity. This is capacity to capacity conversion. You've seen all these before. Okay? So now we're looking at converting volume units to capacity units. And there are two conversions that you use when converting volume units to capacity units. The first one is the following, that 1 centimetre cubed equals 1 mil. What that means is if you remember a little centimetre cube from primary school, those little ones? The little cubes. That occupies the same space roughly, well, exactly as 1 mil. Now think of 1 mil as a syringe that you would have had medicine in, maybe as a child. All right, so they're both fairly small spaces. So 1 centimetre cubed, inside that space, you can fit 1 mil of water. Okay, that's the first conversion. So there are two conversions. So if your answer is in centimetres cubed, you can easily convert it to mils. So if you've got 100 centimetres cubed, it means you've got 100 mils, because 1 centimetre cubed is a mil. The other conversion is the following, that 1 metre cubed is 1,000 litres or 1 kilolitre. That is our second conversion. Now, just think what 1 metre cubed is. It's a metre times a metre times a metre. 1 metre cubed is quite big. You know how long a metre is. More than 3 rulers. 3 rulers and a bit. Across, wide and up. Length, breadth and height. 1 metre times 1 metre times 1 metre. Now that's a very big space. All right, so 1 metre cubed is 1 kilolitre, or we know that 1 kilolitre is 1,000 litres. Okay, so they're the two conversions that we use from volume units, which tells me how much space I've got, to capacity units, which tells me how much liquid I fit in that space. That's the difference between them. Volume, so what's the volume? Length times breadth times height. It's 50 times 20 times 20. What do you get? What's 5 times 2 times 2? 4. 20. 20 what? 1,000 units centimeters cubed. Now we've got two. I would not go converting this into meters cubed at the moment. I would say, well, I know that 1 centimeter cubed is a mil, so that's just the same as 20,000 mils. Now I convert it to liters. Does that make sense? This is because 1 centimeter cubed is a mil, which equals, what's that in liters? 20 liters. So therefore it will not overflow. Now, oh yes, oh sorry, yes it will. It will overflow, sorry. 5 liters on the bench, on the floor. Okay, so girls, if you've got centimeters cubed, do that conversion to mils. So what I would not do is the following. Do not do this. So let's say we got the 20,000 centimeters cubed. Like if you want, I wouldn't now go to meters cubed or anything. But how would you change that to meters cubed anyway? How do you change centimeters cubed to meters cubed? How many times? That's right. So if you want to go, so don't do this. Don't go and convert it to meters cubed. Because why? You've already got the correct units here, centimeters cubed to mils. Do you see what I'm saying? So I wouldn't now divide by, so if you want to change it to meters cubed, you would, so what I don't want you to do is just divide that by 100 and think that you've converted it to meters cubed, because you haven't. So be careful when you're converting from centimeters cubed to meters cubed, you'd have to do it 3 times the conversion. So divide by 100, 100, and 100. That's 0.02 liters. So why would you do it this way? Not liters, meters cubed. Do you get that? And then you might say, all right, I'm now going to convert. 1 meter cubed is 1,000 liters, or 1 meter cubed is a kiloliter. You can say, all right, that's 0.02 kiloliters. You wouldn't do it this way, would you? Which is, times it by 1,000, 20 liters. That's just not the way to do it. As soon as you've got centimeters cubed, if that's the answer you're getting in your calculations for volume, go straight to capacity. If you have an answer of meters cubed, yes, go straight to capacity. When would you go from meters cubed to liters? If you're doing a swimming pool question problem or a big pool. So if you're doing something with a lot of water, like a swimming pool, you will get an answer in meters cubed and you'll go straight to capacity from there. We can look at one of those. So if you've got a volume answer in centimeters cubed, convert it to mils first and then convert it to liters. If you end up with an answer, say, in meters cubed, let's say you get an answer in meters cubed and you need mils, I wouldn't convert. So let's say you've got an answer in meters cubed and you have to convert it to mils. I would not go from meters cubed to centimeters cubed. I would say 1 meter cubed is 1 kiloliter, and then I would say and then change the kiloliter into the mils or whatever. All right? But don't do volume conversions. Do the straight volume capacity conversion and then change your capacity units. It's better than doing the volume conversion. All right? So for example, here in 14, it's a swimming pool problem. Do you know what shapes we've got here, ladies? Well, there's a rectangle here, and what's this shape here? It's a trapezium. All right, off you go. It says find the shaded area, and then you're going to find the volume. Look, they use the word volume in liters, but it really is the capacity of the pool. Do you want to spend a minute just doing that? Area of the trapezium first. What's your A and B? Can you see it or not? Can you see what the height of the trapezium is or not? Yeah. Have a go, girls. All right, I've drawn it. Girls, the distance from there to there was 25, so this is 15 minutes. You've got your trapezium, which is H on 2, A plus B. Your A plus B are your parallel sides. So height is 15 over, and then you've got over 2. Your A plus B are 1.5 and 2.5. And then the area of this one is just a rectangle. 10 times 2.5. You can add those two areas together. The area of the uniform cross-section is 55 meters squared, and the volume is the area of the uniform cross-section times how far back that cross-section goes. It's not the depth of the pool. It's how far back that space goes. So volume is the area of the uniform cross-section times the height. How far back does that go? There's your uniform cross-section shaded. Then we say how far back does that go? That's the height of your prism. It's 15 meters. And then you've got to find the volume of the pool in liters. So times 15 meters, we're going to end up with meters cubed. So what's 55 times 15? 825. Yep, 825 meters cubed. Now look, even though we are finding the capacity, they do use the word volume sometimes. So which conversion do you think you want to use? You're not going to convert that now to centimeters cubed. Convert to, we use the conversion 1 meter cubed is 1 kiloliter or 1,000 liters, because kilo means 1,000. So we can say that's 825 kiloliters, and then or just multiply it by 1,000 straight away. 825,000 liters. That really is your capacity, but you can say it's your volume in liters. Look, you're used to volume being in liters, mils, etc. Anyway, okay? Number do you multiply by to convert from liters to centimeters cubed? You say 1 liter is, where's he working out? 1 liter is what? 1,000 mils. And now we know that 1,000 mils is 1,000 centimeters cubed. So what do you multiply from? By 1,000. So again, this is just making sure that you convert your liters to mils first, and then you say, yep, I know that conversion. 1 mil is 1 centimeter cubed. So the answer will be you times by 1,000. Okay? Actually, I'm going to ask you another question. What about 1 liter, from liters to millimeters cubed? What single number do you multiply by to convert from liters to millimeters cubed? All right, let's go. 1 liter is, I'll call that B, but it's not really question B, but it's my question B. MMB. Right. Right. 1 liter is what? 1,000 mils, which is 1,000 centimeters cubed. Now, we've got that from before, but I need it in millimeters cubed. How do you convert from centimeters cubed to millimeters cubed? Well, to convert centimeters to millimeters, you times by 10, but it's cubic units. Times it by 10 3 times, or 10 cubed. So we're going to times it by 10 cubed, or 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000,000. So if you want to convert from liters to millimeters cubed, you multiply by 1,000,000. Because when we go from centimeters cubed to millimeters cubed, you've got to times it by 10 3 times. Got it? All right, so notice I had liters. I went to mils first because then I know that conversion. And then once I get to volume units and go to centimeters cubed to millimeters cubed, I've got to do the conversion 3 times for volume. Therefore, to go from liters to millimeters cubed, you're multiplying by 1,000,000.